Welcome to the next part of our giant Math Lab course creation project. In this video, we're going to discuss the how and the what behind our Khan Academy lessons. Before we go any further, and as a reminder, please pause the video as often and as long as needed to generate everything you need to regarding the Khan Academy lessons and putting the proper links in place. So the point of Khan Academy within our Math Lab setting is to create a game plan where we tackle foundational skills that will help us approach grade level. Remember, the students were not placed in Math Lab due to their current struggles, but because of their previous year's struggles. With that, we're going to look for and load 5th grade content for our 6th grade population to help build their foundational skills. The same holds true for our 7th grade population. We will look for 6th grade skills for them. We want the theme to build and progress throughout the year, hitting the major topics within the domains that we cover. As we have our yearly game plan built, we have room for 5 sets of material. As you can see, the first set happens to be on September 13th and September 16th. We have the words first day to indicate that this is our first day of 3 total, and it could be 4. Let's get into that real quick. As a teacher, you'll preload all of the sets for Khan Academy before you see the kids. The first set will have a soft due date of October 3rd. That's right here, October 3rd for our odd day classes and October 4th for our even day classes. If they meet that deadline, they'll get to participate in the reward. The reward for meeting the goal of completing set 1 is usually something where all 3 classes get together. In my current district, we set up a room that has a makeshift ping pong setup, an old air hockey table, a karaoke machine, a TV with an old Nintendo Wii hooked up, 2 4-foot arcade machines, and a 3-foot mini pool table, all coupled with about a dozen board games. The way this works is that all the students that qualified and 2 out of the 3 teachers will go to that room on the 4th day of Khan Academy, which in our case would be October 15th and 16th. The other teacher will keep all the kids that didn't qualify to first catch up and finish their work. Then once caught up, they'll still stay and work on the next set so that they can get a little bit of a head start to qualify for the next time we're scheduled to go. In other words, they're going to be in a different room. So let's take a look at all the sets. This is for our 6th graders, and what you see for set 1 is that they need to accomplish these during the first 3 total class periods. So this is set 1 right here. The 7s and the 4s show you how many questions are in those sets. And the kicker is they need to show mastery. In other words, they need to get 100% or they'll have to repeat that skill until they do so. So this is a little visual of what it would look like. So this student has 2 completely done. This student has 2 done. I don't know if you can see my little cursor here. The 3rd student has 1 done. That's 71 they have to redo. This student has 2 done. This student has 4. The second to last student has 4 done with 3 left to go. And the last student has all of them done except for 1. They got a 29 on their first attempt, so they have 1 more to go. All right, so back to the list of topics. I mentioned earlier that you want to preload all sets ahead of time because while it's rare, you don't want to stifle any student that wants to take it upon themselves to go home and work online to push ahead. In fact, that should be applauded. This also leads to why I would load a 6th set in case a student really pushes themselves. You could call this 6th set an overarching personal goal for your students. So here's the 5 sets, and then I loaded an extra set down here. So now let's jump to what it looks like on a daily basis. I would have this mini poster hanging somewhere prominent in your class and you'll definitely need to go over this on the first day you venture into Khan Academy. So here's the poster. As the teacher, you do not assign the videos to them. You're only assigning the actual assignments. The videos are there as their first option to watch if they get stuck at some point. They are allowed and even encouraged to reach out to one of their peers for help. I try to oversee this, but from a distance, encouraging the helper to really teach the student that called them over. We're going to teach them to call them over for help, and not just to give the answer. In fact, if I just recently helped a student and I'm confident that they understand it, I'll then send them over to another student that has that same question later in the period. Their other option is to click Hint inside of Khan Academy. Clicking Hint will walk them through the problem step by step and even arrive at the answer. In doing so, it'll automatically mark the problem wrong. So I tell them that this is a last resort and only choose this if they've already got one wrong within the set, knowing that you're going to have to redo it anyway. Because again, we're trying to achieve mastery. The last step is to reach out to the teacher. Once this Khan Academy system is up and running and your students are less shy around you, this becomes a well-oiled machine. You're jumping from student to student, reminding students to watch the video, sending over students to help each other with confidence, and directing them to utilize resources like mini dry erase boards to accomplish the goal. All right, just for visual purposes, let's take a quick look at the 7th grade content, which comes from 6th grade level material. All right, so these little notes where I have the word gone, if you Google this exact phrase or group of words here, it will come up on Google and you can still assign it through Khan Academy. Now let's link everything. All right, the first thing is we're going to link our 6th grade content, which is actually 5th grade material. And then now we're going to link our 7th grade content. And we know that this is actually 6th grade material. And now we want to link our poster. All right, let's just link that. And while we're doing this, we also have a link called Exceeding Goals Plan of Action. It's up here. Remember, this is applied to a student that finished all of the sets that you put inside the Khan Academy program. The first action plan is to give them the 6th set, pretending that was always part of your plan. Once they get through that, they deserve to be praised and rewarded. The first thing I allow for them to do on all future Khan Academy days is they can pick whatever video game is not blocked and play it during the entire period. The second thing, which is more of a caveat to the first thing, is they also need to become a second teacher in the room. In other words, when a student needs help, they can call me or that student over to help them. This will simply mean they need to pause their game and go and help. Once the students see this freedom reward, some of them tend to go home and work on the material in an attempt to be able to do the same. This hidden benefit allows you to push your students through their own intrinsic-ish motivation. I say ish because there still is a carrot dangled in front of them, but for them to proactively go home and do more work prior to when they are required to do so is a big win. Also, the students don't know what your schedule is in advance, so in their minds, knowing that they get to play video games for every Khan Academy day in the future may seem like a lot. For you, you have the option of sneaking in more non-Khan Academy days if the whole class ends up accomplishing all of the sets. This gives the best of both worlds. They get a couple of free periods to play their video games, which is always towards the end of the year anyway, but you get to sneak in some more relevant teachable lessons, even if it is just a fun review. The point to all this is that you can populate a game plan inside of the Exceeding Goals Plan of Action link. All right, as we scroll through here, there's nothing new to link on subsequent Khan Academy days, so we're simply going to link the same stuff over and over again throughout the rest of the document. So we have these 3 links here, and we're going to double it up, and then I'm going to copy them like this, and then see how we have the second day, and then the third day, and then this is when everything is due. And then we can repeat that for the next set. So you would go through and you would continue to paste these. But what I'm going to do is pause the video, and then you could do the same, and you can paste yours as well. So here's a visual example of what I was talking about. So if you have a student that finishes March 4th or 5th, depending on, odd or even, whatever period you have them, they finish here. Everything's done. That means this period, they're going to get to play their video game, and then this period is the reward day. But this was our 5th set, and it's March 21st. That's it. We don't visit Khan Academy again for the rest of the year. So it's not like you're giving them tons and tons of free time. Even if they were to finish everything a day before that, that's only 2 or 3 periods that they get to play the video games. But in their mind, they accomplished a lot, and they think that they're going to get all these free days of playing video games. We're at a good stopping point, so this concludes our All Things Khan Academy video. Thanks for watching, and join us in our next video as we continue our giant math lab course creation project.